Okay, once again, I want us to look at the bit of banking. Banking is under the accounting module. So under the accounting module, we go to banking, we would have bank accounts, bank feeds, posted bank transactions, setup of bank account, and then the reconciliation of the bank account. So if we have any bank account, this is where we add our bank account. So we can add bank accounts here. So we have the account type is a bank, the detail type is bank, and then say it's First National Bank. And then if we have the account number, we have to put the account number. If it's a parent of something else of this particular bank, then we have to book, but it's just a bank on its own. So if you have any balance for this bank, we can put the balance as an opening balance and say this balance is opening as from the 1st of January. So it was an opening balance or closing from prior year and an opening balance this year. So bank name is still First National Bank. The account number is whatever number the account is. And then the banking route or the address is wherever the bank account is situated. So this can be a description of what we do with this account, whether we do for payment of items or payment of expenses, whatever we do with this, we can make that description or narration there and we submit. So that's how we open a bank account in IXLCORE. It allows us to open as many bank accounts as we have or as we want and be able to use and be able to make them active. So if the account is not active, I can come and delete if that account needs to be deleted, or I can make that account inactive here on the system. So the account can be active or inactive. I can delete the account if I made a mistake on it and then made inactive. There is bulk export, meaning you want to export all the banks into an Excel or into a document, then you can be able to do those bulk action. We can activate as many accounts as we have, or deactivate or delete from a mass action point of view. So that's how we create banks in IXLCORE. Banking feeds are aligned to Plaid. We talked about Plaid and how we connect the system online to Plaid to ensure that transactions are fed through via Plaid. So this would require us to set Plaid, like we spoke about settings when we were looking at settings in accounting. And then once we set up and pick the period, the transactions will drop here automatically for the bank. We do not need to post the transactions. So bank feeds provide an automated way of bank posting. But we have posted bank transactions. So if we are not connected to live feeds, we can't be able to post bank transactions here. And the system provides us the capability of importing transactions. And as usual, the system has an Excel sheet that will give us a sample of what we need if we want to upload the transactions. So to get us to do a sample, we'll open the sheet. So the sheet here will be, so let's say we have two transactions, all dated the 1st of August 2025. Let's say here is deposit of 2,000. POIE say is ABC Company Limited. Description is either invoice number 13. Then we have other same date we have other entity entries. So probably here we have 100. The PAYE is bank charges. We have bank charges. And then we come and say, again, we had a deposit for 50,000, and that was ABC let's say invoice 45. Then we save this. Once we've formatted that, we can come in and say the bank account was Kenya Commercial Bank. You can see it gives us the option, even the bank we've opened now. And then we choose the Excel, which it opens for us. And here is our Excel sheet that we opened. And then we say import. Once we are successful, the system says we've entered 3 transactions, number of lines successful entered are 3, and unsuccessful was 0. So you'll be able to know all the transactions that have come through to the system, what was uploaded, the successful and the unsuccessful. So looking at banking under the accounting module, if we do not have the live feeds where transactions are picked automatically under bank feeds, then we're able to look at posted transactions. If we come to Kenya Commercial Bank, this options gives us the options to look at the transactions in Kenya Commercial Bank. So we refresh that button and then we're able to see the transactions that have happened or that have gone through that bank. And then depending on the dates and the times, we're able to see all the transactions through to the bank. So going back to the banking, so we've seen an aspect of upload for bank transactions, and then we can set up a bank account. We can set up our bank account, and this connotes still our transactions that are online through banking feeds, and still we are not connected to any bank feeds, are not able to come through. However, we will be able to see the transactions that we've just uploaded right now. So you can see on 1st of August, we have these transactions that we uploaded via our Excel upload on bank transactions. So these are transactions already there. So that's set up. However, if we are connected also to any other, to the Plate or to live feeds, we'll be able to see transactions that are uncleared. That always fails because that environment is not set up. Then the final thing about bank is doing bank reconciliations. Bank reconciliations are core in what we do, and we must be able to do a bank reconciliations. So we look at the bank statement that we have at that particular time, would have the total withdrawals. Let's say they were 350,000. We deposited 1 million during that month or during that period, and you are doing a reconciliation for period ending 31st August, and we say start reconciling. So once we start reconciling, the system would open to us all the transactions. These are the transactions we have uploaded. These are transactions that are already existing here. So we're able to look at transactions that we have in the system, match them vis-a-vis transactions that we have done. So if I do a match transaction, the system would give a fail in match because there's nothing matching in our transactions. So here on first, we had 500,000, but when you're doing a reconciliation, 500,000 is not there. We have payments that were done of 411 and 137, then we do not have any of these payments at this period. So we never received any of those payments. That's why there is nothing matching between the bank and the transactions that we uploaded. So this process is a process of reconciliation, meaning you can be able to adjust whatever entries. So if perchance on the 1st or on 21st we made a mistake on this entry, it was not to be 411, it was maybe to be 450, we can be able to correct and finish the process of reconciliation. So we can save for later so that we continue doing later, or we can delete the whole process and start again, or we can make adjustments and finish. So adjustment allows us to make corrections as we go on. So we do an adjustment or we leave it uncleared. We make an adjustment and say on invoice number 13 it's 2,000. So invoice number 13 was not 2,000, it was 411 or something like that. So we are allowed to make that adjustment on that transaction on the bank. So we have that adjustment, whatever the adjustment is, we can adjust the transaction. It was a deposit of 411. Let's take 411 here on 21st. So we can change the date and say it was 21st. When I was posting the entries, I mistook. Instead of taking 21st, I took a different date, and then I'm saying it is a figure of, so sorry, let me take on 1st. On 1st of August, and the figure was 450,000. And then I save that adjustment. Once it's updated, are you sure? The system will ask you to make sure that you've done the correct thing. So the same, we can continue all these, we can continue make all adjustments until we are finally in agreement that all the adjustments were done, were correct, and then we proceed with finalizing on the transactions. I'll make this 500,000. On the first, I save that entry and I say okay. So different transactions, different entity, we're able to adjust and finish, or adjust and ignore it, adjust or leave it uncleared, and the system posts that to an uncleared account. So we leave this also uncleared, or we make the adjustment accordingly, and same with this, we decide what adjusting entry we're going to make, where we're going to post this transaction, and then the transaction details, the date, and then save that adjustment. So that's how we upload transaction, and that's how we clear transactions in making a bank reconciliation. We adjust and finish, then finally under accounting and under reports, we're able to see all the bank transactions, all the bank reconciliation entries, reconciliation summaries, and reconciliation details for the various transactions. So if it's a bank, you'll see IXLCORE, we did the beginning balance, ending balance, we have the reconciliation here, which we can print and save or print to Excel accordingly. So that in a nutshell is how we do and manage banks in IXLCORE from end to end. Thank you very much.